Imagine a reality where you were fully tapped into your divinity. What would that look like for you? In a world where we are manipulated into surrendering our power and authenticity, there are those of us who actively heal and work our magic to help others step into their highest versions. My name is KaSandra. I am the witch, spiritualist, founder, creator, and poet of Magic of Eden. My mission and purpose is to fearlessly share my magic, art, and wisdom to help others reclaim their divinity through poetry and ritual magic. On my podcast, I'll provide tarot readings, reveal prophetic messages and visions, share my astrological insights, discuss and perform my poetry. I'll also feature other creatives to ensure an infinite space of love, healing, and world unity. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another podcast episode here at Magic of Eden, the journey to your highest version. I am always happy to be in the presence of you all, and thank you for spending time with me here today. So this podcast episode serves as a part 2 to the last episode I did for the Pisces New Moon. If you guys have not already listened to that podcast episode, you may want to, because it has a full breakdown of the charts, of course. I basically give you guys a chart interpretation, what you guys can expect and what you guys can be setting attention for, all that good stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into this because I feel like I did not cover everything that I could have in the last episode. So as you guys know, we're going to be having a new moon in the sign of Pisces tomorrow at 2:06 a.m. roughly, at least in Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys are in the West Coast hemisphere, then more than likely this is going to be happening at night for you, possibly. So I wanted to kind of put an emphasis on those people who are already in their relationships. Now, this is going to be kind of, for some of you guys, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. And for some of you guys, it's going to be like a refresher, like, okay, I knew this, right? So the energy of people who are already in their relationships, this can be a time where you guys can work your magic around enhancing and bringing the magic back into your own relationships and really diving deep into really connecting with your partner on a more deeper emotional level and incorporating your spirituality into your relationship in a way that is productive and allows you guys to connect and evolve together, thus creating a space of total magic, love, unconditional love, and romance and things of that nature. And I say that because in the last podcast episode, there was an emphasis on divine partners and things like that, and people meeting up with their divine others, their soulmates, their twin flames, and things like that. And I feel like some people may already be in a relationship with their soulmate or with their divine other or with their twin flame, right? And I feel like sometimes things can be a little complicated because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And so sometimes we do kind of stray away from this higher aspect of ourselves, which is completely okay, because sometimes it's just a part of the journey, right? I feel like the message that I want to give to anyone listening to this that is already in a relationship is that there is always room for improvement, right? Especially if you are still growing and still evolving. And for whatever reason, I'm hearing the word right now, the word appreciation, appreciating your partner for who it is that they are, appreciating yourself for who it is that you are, and coming together and looking at those different types of amazing qualities that drew you guys to each other in the first place, and playing off of that dynamic and that energy and allowing yourself to bring that energy back. I don't know why, but it almost kind of feels like there's this spark that needs to be reignited with some people. And I really do feel like Spirit is saying that you guys can set intention together, if you like, for what you want to see your relationship look like. Use the power of your imagination together to create more of a magical space for you and your partner. And this to me is so amazing because it's bringing me to dinner dates like paint and sips, or going out to a romantic dinner, something very gazy. This could be you sitting outside or laying outside on your lawn, stargazing with your partner, doing something to help both of you tap into the magic of your relationship. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, but there's this exercise that spirit is saying you can do where you just kind of stop and you sit in silence and just look into your partner's eyes. This can help you to increase the telepathy within yourself and your partner and help you connect without the use of words or without the need to say anything out loud, because your expressions, your fears, your wants, your desires are shown through the eyes. It's showing, the eyes are the portal to the soul. And when you sit and you stare into your partner's eyes, you can see them for everything. Especially if you are someone who is highly intuitive, when you have that kind of intelligence, it allows you to tap more into that person anyway. So that is an exercise that spirit is bringing to me to tell you guys if you're already in a relationship. Now, this is going to apply to a certain dynamic of individuals, and take it as it resonates, right? Some of you guys are understanding more of what you want in a partner, more of what you want as it pertains to romance and the type of people or person that you want to attract. And for some of y'all have gone through a lot of turmoil, a lot of things in this relationship. And at the time of the new moon, I see some of you guys setting intention on the things like you do and don't want in a partner. And I'm going to be honest, I do see some splitting happening amongst some relationships, but this is not the end all be all. It is not a bad thing. It is actually an amazing thing for the both of you, because both of, or however many of you there are, right? I feel like by you setting your intention and by you really diving deep into your own desires and what you are a vibrational match for, sometimes the friction between two partners does not mean it's meant to work. It sometimes means that everything has worked out up until this point and it's okay to split. So spirit is saying that if this is you, do not be afraid to walk away and step into the magic that you know is good for you, because sometimes when you go through these types of experiences, you block the blessings that spirit is trying to give to you, because everything that you're going through, all the stress, all the heartache, the pain, these are building blocks that you create, that are being used to create these walls that prevent healing and love from coming and being poured into you. So spirit is saying that if you guys hear any bumping, it's because my kids are upstairs, you guys, by the way. And they're fine. They're just playing around. So yes, to continue, what spirit is saying is that, at the time of the new moon, when you set your intention and plant those seeds for these things that you see that you want to manifest for yourself, spirit is letting us know that, some of this kind of looks like in the future things falling apart and things breaking apart and us leaving certain relationships and friendships and things like that in order to to help materialize these new things that are coming, that are more sustainable and more plentiful, more abundant, more loving, more intense, right? More unconditional. And it's okay if these things happen. For some people, though, this looks like an enhancement in their own relationship right now. This looks like new adventures with this person, new ways of coming together through healing rituals is what's coming through right now. Reiki sessions happening for some people, doing more spiritual activities with your partner to help bring a closer relationship to not only yourself and the divine, but your relationship and the divine. This is the lovers, right? How the lovers, there's two people standing in a garden, they're fully naked, and then there's that angel. This is a connection to the divine amongst two people, amongst a couple, amongst two divine others. It's also the Two of Cups, where they're standing, these other halves are standing with each other, and then there's that warrior there, right? That angel. So remember, this is a divine connection that can be established and heightened and enhanced through allowing divine energy, divine knowledge, divine wisdom, divine love, divine light to come into the relationship. That's what this is looking like for some people. And that is okay. That's all right. I really do love that. I love that for everyone. And the reason is because at the end of the day, we're really just kind of we're just here to thrive. We're here to have fun. We're here to learn, express ourselves, grow, gather as much information as we can about each other, about the world, about the universe, and take it back to the stars, right? And as gargantuan as our imagination can be, we are so small infinitesimal as it pertains to this universe. But even still, our impact here on the planet is so amazing, right? And when we can enhance ourselves and really allow ourselves to open up to these amazing relationships, I feel like that can make the experience even more amazing and cosmic. It'll create this big bang of love and light energy, right? That we all have the power to tap into and to create amongst everyone. So that's kind of what I want to say as it pertains to that portion of this reading. I actually ended up pulling some cards that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And I'm also going to be giving more downloads and intuitive messages as well as it pertains to other things too. And before we get into any of that, I also kind of wanted to highlight real quick the fact that some of you guys are being, I don't want to say forced, but it almost kind of feels like you're being forced into really tapping into your higher self. And I say that because you know how the great teachers, in our history, like Buddha and other teachers of that sort, how there's a common thing, a theme amongst them where they leave their families to seek enlightenment, right? And I really do see some of you guys, if not leaving your families and things like that on purpose or your possessions behind to seek enlightenment, for whatever reason, I do feel that some of you guys are going through this process of total breakdown where you don't feel as connected to your family, or you feel like your friends, the people that you love the most, are constantly leaving your life. I feel that some of you guys are on your path to your higher self, and sometimes that looks like this great separation that happens between you and the people that you love the most. And unlike the people of the past who chose to leave their family to seek enlightenment, it's almost kind of like you are trying to hold on to the things, the people, the places that mean the world to you because you feel that this is what brings you home. But Spirit is like, listen, it's not the fact that you're losing these people or that you're leaving them in a sense. It's just the fact that you are on a path to a higher calling. And because you set your intention on becoming and tapping into your higher self, sometimes that looks like a disconnection between you and the people that you love because you are simply not in the same frequency as them anymore. Sometimes this does look like, friendships, relationships breaking apart, but sometimes it means you going into this hermit mode away from this space for a while to understand, to analyze, to seek enlightenment as it pertains to your own life, and then coming back as its higher version. And whether or not people are in your, will remain in your life, or whether you will come back to them or not, that's really just kind of up to you. That's up to your own life. It's up to what you decide that you want to accept, or what you feel destined for, or what you feel resonates with you the most. But Spirit, there's a message about encouragement, letting you know that it is okay if things are not working out right now, because you are on a path to higher enlightenment, and that is okay. It doesn't mean that you're better than anyone else. It doesn't mean that you're not meant to have, any deep connections or friends, or maybe it does for you. I don't know what your life looks like, but what I can say is that there seems to be this energy of you using this time to set your intention to tap into or become this most divine aspect or embodiment of yourself, in which then you can welcome in everything else that is a vibrational match. And so, because you are moving into that frequency, what that looks like again is certain relationships and things being broken down and falling apart, and this is okay, right? Now, I just wanted to bring you guys that message because I noticed that there is a common theme of this happening now. And I'm noticing this energy. It just kind of presented itself. And this was an idea that was, that I downloaded. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I hope that it does help in some way. All right, now moving forward, everybody, I just wanted to take the time out to let you guys know about the reading or the cards that actually came out as I shuffled earlier, and I was going to go ahead and just do the reading right now as I'm speaking. So the cards that came out were the 10 of Cups, we had the Sun card, the World card, we had the Knight of Pentacles, we had the Six of Wands appearing twice, and we have the Two of Wands in reverse. We have an Ace of Wands in reverse and an Ace of Wands in the upright position. Now, the reason why you hear me saying those cards twice is because I actually took two decks and smushed them together, because sometimes there are additional messages within the same set of cards, if that makes sense. So, with the cards that came out, there's this emphasis on this extremely bright future that you may not be able to see right now, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't manifest. What you can do is understand that there is so much light in the void, right? Because darkness is really just light that can't be detected. And although we can't see it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So, your future is extremely bright, abundance, peaceful, loving, amazing, sustainable, and all the most amazing things you could think of, even though you cannot see them right now. There is this emphasis or this call for you to tap into this voided space and sit there and float there and allow yourself to become one with that, and be open to the amazing surprises that awaits you as you show up in your most natural state. And I feel like with the World card appearing and with the Six of Wands appearing twice, is that you guys just don't, if only you guys knew what your higher self knows about what you're going to become or what you're becoming, you'd be like, oh my fucking God, I can't believe this. But it's amazing that you can't see that right now, because the mystery, it adds suspense, it adds excitement to what you can't see. The unknown, this, Spirit is saying the unknown in this sense should make you feel excited versus pessimistic. Spirit does not want you to lose your spark of life. It does not want you to feel as though it's impossible. If anything, you are breaking past your own fears and limitations to make the impossible possible. This is you tapping into this element of miracle. But at the same time, this, in a sense, means that you are the miracle that is happening right now. And that is all you need to remember and understand. Because if you knew what you'd become, what would be the point of the journey? Right. And I remember saying something similar to that in my podcast the last time, I believe. But Spirit is urging you, is encouraging you to understand that there is so much excitement that you can look forward to, but there's also excitement in the unknown right now. Some of you guys are like, girl, I do not like surprises. And I feel that, because I was someone who just does not like surprises, or who did not like surprises. But to be honest with you, I've learned that there is so much amazingness in surprises, because it's not necessarily about the surprise itself. It's really about you being able to adapt to whatever it is being presented to you in the midst or the raw of the moment. And I think that because we are wired and made to evolve and adapt, I think we can take on any fucking surprise that comes our way. I know that we like to use astrology because we want to predict what's to come, and we want to be able to plan and like all this good stuff. And sometimes we do this because we're just wanting to know what's expected. We want to know what to expect. Like, we want to know what's to come so that we can be prepared. But I'm being reminded and brought to the power of an artist as it pertains to improvisation. And me as a poet, sometimes I do improvise. I mean, all of my writing really is just freely written, and I do it in one take and then I'm done. There are some times where I obviously will go back and I will, edit it and whatnot. But for the most part, everything is freely written. And I'm not saying that to be a boast or an arrogant fool. I'm saying that because of the power of improvisation. You trust yourself in the midst and the raw and the heat of that moment to just simply create based off of what you're feeling at that moment. You don't always go by this certain type of structure. You don't always go by this certain rule, because sometimes those rules are meant to be broken. And even though you can use these rules, in order to expect what to do or to be shown what to do, sometimes your intuition and your imagination in conjunction with each other are meant to help you in that moment create, because you are someone that is amazingly adaptable to anything and everything, right? There's nothing that you need to be fearful of. And sometimes we prep and we plan out of fear that we won't make it, or that we don't have what it takes to survive or sustain or thrive in this next big thing. But Spirit is saying, trust in your power to improvise. I used to play clarinet and tenor saxophone in high school, right? So I'm familiar with reading music. One of the things that helped us as a musician is or a person who plays instruments, is that we would read the next note that was ahead so that we can know what note to play. And then there was the power of improvisations where you wouldn't even read the sheet music. You would go based off of what you know and what you feel intuitively will come out. I used to fucking suck at improvisations because I was so fucking afraid of not knowing what to do. But looking back on what I know now, what I would have done differently that would have made me a better musician is by trusting my natural instincts to flow with the music and to flow with what is already there within myself. That's what would have made me a better musician. And then you did have musicians that were amazing fucking improvisers. They were fucking dope. And I'm just like, how the fuck do they know how to do this? And it's because they trusted themselves through the flow of it. See, and I feel like, music and artistry and all these different forms of art help us tap into our ability to improvise. But sometimes we forget that we can do the same shit in life. And at the time of this new moon, I do believe that this is also you tapping into your ability to create rawly and freely. If Raleigh's a fucking word. I'm laughing because I just be making up shit sometimes, you guys. But anyway. And by the way, Raleigh is a word. I checked. But seriously though, I feel like, and that's something else that's being brought to my attention, is this idea of art being created within the chart. I'm telling y'all, I really do feel like some people are going to fall in love with their wanting or this need to be artists again, and to really allow themselves to tap into this creative outlets and allow themselves to tap into this healing through art. But not even just that, I also see people going more into selling art pieces and, selling their art online. This is drawing me to portraits specifically, like portraits and paintings specifically, and people learning how to master the arts of performance, specifically poets, and bringing a new sound to poetry and also bringing a new presentation to poetry that the world is not used to seeing. I am seeing some of that happening, and also bringing a very unique sense of style as it pertains to fashion outlets and things of that nature. So I really do see people evolving through art and really tapping into their ability to improvise, and them taking the same technique that they use in their art and applying it to life, so that when they are in these situations, they improvise in a way that helps them overcome whatever challenge they're being faced with. So there's a message all in itself. And the main message here is to remember that even though you are in the unknown, even though you may not see everything for what it is, it does not mean that it won't be great, right? We have to be able to release that fear of not knowing and not seeing, right? We have to tap into our ability to be grounded no matter what. And I really do feel like Spirit is saying, I want to surprise you in your life. All you need to do is set the intention. Everything you see for yourself, I want you to visualize that. And then I want you to say, Spirit, surprise me with more, right? Surprise me with the most extravagant fucking thing you can ever, help me manifest in this life. You feel me? So I really do feel like that is Spirit's message to you at the time of this new moon. I love y'all so much, and I'm super excited and elated and happy that y'all chose to be here with me right now and to listen to me ramble on about the downloads that I get. So if you guys need anything from me, you guys can visit me online at magicofeden.com. Remember that the opening date for the Apothecary is March 7th at 3:33 p.m. EST. If you guys need anything from me, you guys can also follow my Instagram at Magic of Eden. If you guys want to see what I'm up to on the shadow side, you guys can follow Shadows X Magic. Also, make sure that you stay up to date with the latest episodes by following Magic of Eden podcast on Instagram as well. You guys can also listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you can even listen to the podcast on my website as well. I will have everything linked down in the description box. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. I have to fix some candles, and I also have to create the candle instructions for some of the other candles in the Apothecary. So I've got a lot of shit to do before March 7th. And love you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next podcast episode. Your girl has her own recipe, and I ain't gonna give it away. But I will say that any base oils you want to work with pertaining to, love and romance and things like that, or like spiritual love and things like that. I mean, just grapeseed oil, if you will, or whatever your base oil is. I like grapeseed oil because it's so versatile and it's so easy to manipulate. The energy is amazing. And then you can also use rose and dried jasmine flowers as well. You guys can use that as far as soulmate attraction. I love that combination. It's amazing, but I'm not going to give all the recipe, like I said, because, I'm not stingy. It's just that, you gotta create. You feel me? You're the creative artist here. You feel me? I'm just kind of giving you like the baseline. And also, if you guys are looking to manifest money or like money matters, you guys can take grapeseed oil and mix that with a blend of almond oil. And then you guys can also use, herbs like, or flowers like, you can use chamomile, or you can use basil is a good one. Basil, oh my God. Basil's like fucking amazing. And you can also use red clover blossom, the flowers and whatnot, dried, of course. So those are just some ideas that you can use. Bergamot and thyme are also amazing as it pertains to money matters, especially as it pertains to investments and making sure that your money lasts and things like that, and manifesting, your dream home and things like that. So be on the lookout for that. You can, create whatever concoction you want using those herbs. Now, if you guys are planning to do some third eye work, some third eye chakra work, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I love using lemongrass. Lemongrass is fucking amazing as it pertains to third eye work. I just fucking love it for that. And of course, there are also other herbs and flowers that you can use, but I'm gonna let you do some research. You feel me? Also, if you guys are looking to do some dream work, you guys can mix some mugwort, some lavender, and jasmine flowers. Those three together are fucking phenomenal. Like, I'm like not even joking. And like I said, you can do your own little concoction and whatever works for you, right? Also, if you guys are going to be doing self-love, I will definitely say that a combination of rose and lavender are fucking phenomenal. Of course, there are also other herbs and flowers that you can mix in between that, but those are just, like I said, some baseline herbs and flowers that you can use. If you're looking for some type of essential oil to add, I mean, to be honest with you, the sky's the limit with that. But every oil does have a very specific intention. It does have a very specific vibration to it. It has a certain frequency and energy. And so those energies do help to attract certain things. So I would say probably just do like a little bit of research on that. Yeah, so if you guys are working on also love and lust potions and things like that, I'm gonna tell you now that your bet is to work that by using a mixture of rose, hibiscus, and cinnamon. I'm not gonna say what else, but you can also use those in order to draw in certain types of, lust and love, or like a love spell type of thing, if you want. But yeah, those are just some herbs that you can use to work your magic. I also want to say that if you guys are looking to do a little bit more research on this, on herbs and things like that, there's a book that I have here. It's called Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. So you guys can, order that, or at your local shop or on Amazon. That is where you can do some research on some herbs and oils and things of that nature. It also has some places where you can actually order supplies from to create your own things if you want to, or if you're a seller yourself, or if you are someone who has your own shop, you're more than welcome to look at that and see what you can find, right, to help yourself. Also, for those of you guys that like to use sigils and also work directly with the planets themselves, there is a book called the Magical Philosophy Book for Planetary Magic by Denning and Phillips. It is it's so amazing. It's invoking and directing the powers of the planets. So you guys can actually find these books on Amazon. I actually use these books sometimes when I'm learning more about the 7 original planets and things of that nature. And when I'm doing some studies on what was used back at that time to work with these different planets and how I can incorporate them into my own magic in my own unique way. So those are just some things that I wanted to share with you guys to help you work your own magic. You guys can find out more information on these things on my website. What I'm going to start doing actually is I'm actually going to create a space where I go into how to combine different herbs and why you would want to mix some herbs with what depending on your intention. I'm actually working on creating all of that, and I'm also in the works. Also, what's in the works are videos of what, of herbs and things of that nature, and, rituals and shit like that. So yeah, be on the lookout for that in the future. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and give you guys that quick message of like what herbs you guys can use. If you guys need anything from me, remember where you guys can find me. You guys can also email me if you guys have any questions at ask@magicofeden.com. That is ask@magicofeden.com. Everything is linked in my bio on Instagram. I also have a link tree that I will link down in the description box as well. So I love you guys, and I'll see you later.